How's it going, everybody? I'm back in Fallout 4. This time I'm going to be building a house slash arena area for Cait. Um, this idea, mainly just came from, finding Cait in the combat zone, and I wanted her to have an arena here. And, I think it actually turned out really cool, because even for this arena, it doesn't even have to be her fighting. It's got, a little spectating area from her house, which is the back part of it. And I really like how it ended up. Uh, but I kind of use all of these just as walls for the house as well. Um, you'll notice that the inside of the arena area is kind of built up where, it's a death trap if you try to go near her house, which I liked that idea. I thought that that made a little bit more sense since her house is kind of also one of the sides of the arena. Her side needed to be built up a little bit. And I knew I wanted to have a window, and I wanted it to be a little bit more interesting than just any of the other buildings. So uh, I went ahead and did this weird, I don't know, 3 space wide house. And so I go ahead and accidentally scrap that floor, but I go ahead and I put this floor in here. I have to do a whole lot of work to even get this to work properly. I probably could have fit it in after I had just put those one pieces on, but it didn't really matter to me. So then I went ahead and I just put in these extra pieces, and so there was a couple pieces I thought about using, but then I just went ahead and settled on using just any of the pieces that I could find. Then I thought about using that piece, but I just went ahead and used any of the regular pieces from the game to fill in that extra spot. And then, like I said, I was going to use these kind of as walls themselves. And so I go ahead and I glitch these into the front of the house, and I wanted it to not stick through a bunch, but also be flush with the building. And then instead of using 3 of these, I just went ahead and grabbed the second one, and you guys will see what I end up doing in a minute with the middle portion of the house. Because I put this on the right side to prevent kind of mixing, or not mixing, but repeating textures. I wanted it to have a little bit different things all the way throughout it. And so I put this on that side, and you can see kind of the same thing, right on top of it. And it went down a little bit farther, which I thought was nice, but you can kind of see what I mean whenever I say it's kind of built up in front of her house as a little defense towards the house as well from people that are fighting in the arena. Because I imagine that if Strong doesn't get the people in his jail, maybe they make them fight. Those are who they use to fight in Cait's arena. And at first I was going to use this barbed wire one, but I realized that it'll kind of just stick through the house. So I go ahead and decide to do something different first. Talking about defending Cait's house. I knew I wanted to use that wall later, and I didn't know that they were in there, to be honest, so I put it aside. Just ignore that wall for now. But I knew that I wanted to make Cait's window a little bit more defended, so I went ahead and just pillar glitched this fence in, and this took forever, just so you know. So there'll be a little bit of a jump cut here. Speaking of jump cuts, you guys recently I mentioned in my last video, because it took so long to make, that it was 30 to 40 minutes of footage even in fast forward. So I'd cut it up quite a bit, and you guys didn't seem to mind. Nobody really complained about it. I had somebody say that as long as the video is clean, if it's smoother with it all cut, then they're fine with that. And I really appreciate that feedback. You guys letting me know that you don't really mind me cutting it up a little bit, because I do try to leave in as many of the details as I can, just because it's nicer to have, I guess, that footage, so like you guys can see all of my steps in my creative process. Because um, I don't know, I try not to really work on stuff uh, before I record. I try not to like test out builds very often. Sometimes I do. I know that I do. So I just try not to. I try to avoid like really building something and then deleting it all and building it again, because I know that I won't be able to recreate it perfectly, and that being able to go through it like creatively, being able to see all of my steps, my entire creative process, I think really helps you guys kind of get where I get my ideas for my builds. And so and you can kind of see my build evolve if I leave all these steps in. And uh, like you'll notice, like a moment ago, I deleted something and replaced it with a different cutout. And like those are the small things that I change throughout my builds. And then like um, sometimes I sit there and mess with things for a while trying to get things to work. And I think you guys seeing that kind of stuff, how much work I put into getting a build to look right or whatever, I think that it's good for you guys to see. But this is the arena area. I just was gonna put in a fenced in or a fenced off area. This is me just trying to line it up, but I realize it really doesn't matter all that much. The only reason I was trying to line it up a little bit better than I would regularly is just because uh, I have to try to make both the edges meet or whatever, you know? Um, 'Cause any other time you're building like fences or whatever, I guess it really doesn't matter. But I'm just trying to get these to be even, and also whenever I go to actually put the left side on, my left right now in the video, connect those two ends, I want it to actually like clip correctly, and I didn't want it to like be way too off, and me trying to fix that, and it ends up being a little bit off, but it's a lot less than I really expected. So now, like I said, trying to connect to this side, and you'll see here in a moment, since this is is an arena, I try to make a small viewing area because I mean, why not? And I really liked the way this build turned out. Also, the channel is doing like crazy good. It's doing really good, especially with I think the amount that I'm posting. I think that the 3 videos a week is a really good amount, because I think it gives my videos enough time to live up to like their full potential, I guess. Because my videos are getting way more views, and I'm getting about the same amount of view time per week as I was when I was posting 5 videos. So like 5 videos, I was posting maybe like an hour to 2 hours worth of content a week, and only getting, I mean, like 2,000 minutes a week watched. And now even just 3 videos, which is like maybe 45 minutes of content, I'm getting, I mean, almost the same. It's a little bit less, but I mean, it's less videos, so I'm getting almost the same amount of minutes watched, and my view time is about the same. Uh, and also my view count is like way higher. People are watching more of my videos. Uh, I don't know. Things are going really well, and I just appreciate all the support and stuff that I've been getting. It's great. But So now I'm gonna go ahead and mess with the interior of her house, and I knew that I kind of wanted to section it off. Just looking at it, I didn't want it to be so open. So I try to figure out how I'm gonna do that, and then instead of putting those little wall end half wall things, I put this, and then I thought it was gonna be glitched out, but I realized that that roof is flat anyway, so that's like perfect. So then I just jumped right on it, and I did it to both ends of this as well. Kind of have a little door frame in the middle on this side, and then the door frame on the right side over there. And you can see that little fencing off the window makes it a little bit more secure. And then I wanted to put a door on the end, which was supposed to be her bedroom, I guess. And I couldn't really get it to glitch in right, so I used Place Anywhere. I'm still having issues with Place Anywhere. It crashes my game. I think that the only time that it really doesn't crash my game is whenever I use it to place build objects, like structure objects, but if I try to use it for anything else, my game almost crashes instantly, which is kind of disappointing because it's kind of hard to place everything perfectly like that. And then I just went ahead and put a door in the front. Tour here in a moment. And you'll see with the final build, I think it turned out awesome. I used CVA quite a bit in this build, custom vanilla assets with these lights in the, I think it's request dump tab, which I have no idea what that even came from, but I thought it turned out awesome. Also, having this tower here is super nice, being able to get a sweet view of the build. And I put up spotlights on the side of the house, and then put some rags over the windows too. But I think that this turned out really good. I just used some benches and stuff, and I really liked those Christmas lights. I thought that those were perfect. And then, as you can see, there's a bunch of skeletons and spikes and all sorts of crap out here, so people have been fighting here for a while. And like I said, the mounted spotlights fit really well. And then the inside of Cait's house is kind of minimal decorations besides the kitchen area. I really like decorating kitchens. It's really easy for me. Just being able to put food down and stuff like that. It always makes it look a little bit better. The only problem I have is being able to put, or filling in, I think, living rooms and stuff, because I really don't know what to put, because a lot of stuff isn't really practical to have in a post-apocalyptic house. But as you can see, there's a great view in the arena. And then back in Cait's room, got some stuff for her. Some bobbleheads that kind of fit her strength and melee. And then got some shots and a dick doll and stuff like that. Some weights for her to work out with. But I really liked this build. I really enjoy the themed builds, being able to do these for all the companions. Because RP is fun. RP builds are really fun. But if you guys like this build, make sure you let me know. Make sure you guys check out some other builds. I've got a few more coming for some other companions. And thanks for all the support recently. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.